Hi guys, welcome back to Nichful Thinking. My name is Nichelle O'Shells on all social media, and this is a podcast all about what I be thinking. Over here, we believe in self-realization, self-enhancement, and self-love. Trust yourself. Let me talk to y'all today about some stuff, okay? All right, let's get into it. I had an excellent day and I was inspired to create an episode around reinvention, new starts, fresh starts, and how to really reinforce your more expanded self. O'Shells is my main brand. Nichful Thinking is an extension of O'Shells. And just like Prince, you kind of have the ability to reinvent yourself. Today was one of those days where it was reinforced to me like this is day zero. This is the start of something brand new. This could be the start of something new. Very that. Let me walk you through my day, and then we're going to get into the how-tos of it all, the how to notice when you are stepping into a new cycle, into a new life, in ways that you can reinforce that for you. I talk about baking it in, and so we're going to dive a little bit more deep on that. So yeah, I went ahead, got some lunch. I got dressed up. I went to the vinyl shop and got me some vinyls. I walked around. I had me on my little heels, clacking in my heels. Word to T.S. Madison. I went to this store also that was putting on like an event, and so they were playing music on vinyls at that. They were playing music, real old school back in the day stuff like Motown, 90s. Like it was a very intentional day, I should say. And before all of that, I had dropped my friend off at the airport, and we are the type of people that just start chatting about life. And you know, when you get around certain friends, there's like a wind that comes about, and it's just like, yep, we could talk about all the things. And so she shared a post that basically was like 6 months from now, set a date with you and your friends, and it will be like a celebration of your achievements, of everything working out. That's what it was. It's like the celebration of everything working out 6 months from now. I have an episode where I talk about playing catch with yourself. And so when she sent that, it felt like, ooh, this is an opportunity to play catch, where I throw the ball and I'm like, all right, this date, I'm gonna put in the calendar. We're gonna have brunch, we're gonna have dinner, we're gonna celebrate it all working out. What is the it? Who knows? Let's see what happens in 6 months and reflect back. And so, with all of that being said, and everything that happened today, and just me feeling super inspired by today feeling like day zero of the next 6 months, you know? And we're in July. We're literally in the smack dab of the year, transitioning into a new vibe. And I don't know about you, but I definitely have been feeling, what is it, the horse, the fire horse? Girl, you better get into the fire horse energy. Like, very much so wanting to create, very much so wanting to find balance between my 30% with my community and the 70% that I spend with myself, whether that be how much time I take to rest, how much time I now take to work out, how much time I now take to reflect, so that I have energy to create, and I have life that I am documenting. There's order to things. And when you are in alignment, when you are marinating on the word, when you are tuned up to what you know you feel called to be tuned up to, and you're glad, right? You're grateful, you're doing all the things. I even got me some water right next to me because I didn't drink enough water this like throughout the day. And I was like, oh, I need some water. Getting water, right? Immediately when you think about it, like taking a beat, taking a second to just sit outside. I've been recording more of my episodes outside, like doing the things that intuitively feel right in the smallest of ways, that, you know what I mean? Like getting the water, I gotta be on my balcony. I'm gonna go outside, go to my balcony. Like actually being obedient to those intuitive hits. And it doesn't have to be these large leaps. That helps you. That helps you ground in the confidence that you know what you're talking about. Like when you feel a big hit, or when you feel a big, when the more medium or bigger kind of actions come to your front doorstep, you already put the reps in small ways to really be obedient to what it is that you feel on the inside. Your compass gets stronger, your discernment gets stronger. So I felt very, very, very much so like a big slash medium intuitive hit to record this episode, day zero, baby. Okay, reinventing and reinforcing the you that is becoming. And so yeah, when I think back and I reflect back, 2026 is a year of reflection for sure for me. My dad, he just turned 66. I'm like, I just feel like it's very much so a reflective year for both of us. And we talked about that a little bit on his birthday. Um, and funny enough, his birthday is on the 16th. So it's like, it's just a whole lot going on. And yeah, I was just reflecting and looking through like photos. And I do this post where I talk about being a magician and reinventing myself. And I think for a lot of us, we're in a different era. Now, how do you embody that? And how do you, quote unquote, know what to do next? Like I mentioned, you start with the small stuff. And so today, it was such a beautiful day, not only because I set the intention to spend time with myself in a real way, but I also like did the work to make myself happy. Like there's what do they say? I feel like She's So Lucky podcast. I get certain clips on my algorithm from her, from Les. There were other women who talk about this as well, where it's like you have to work for your luck. You have to work for your soft life, if you will, and putting the work in looks like being obedient again to those intuitive hits. I think that's kind of where it really begins. And while I was reflecting back, I'm like, yo, Nichelle, honestly, oh my gosh, I just remembered when I went to get my coffee, right? I went to get coffee for me and my friend before I went to go take her to the airport. Boom. So I got her coffee, I got my coffee, I got back to my car, walked all the way to the parking lot, back to my car, I took a sip of my coffee and was like, I don't taste any of the flavor that I asked for and I paid for. Usually Nichelle would have been like, it's okay. I'll just have more of a, espresso-y kind of coffee. Today, something was like, you should go in there and you should get what you want. I was like, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. Like the first step is not being scared to tell the nail lady, like, can you actually do this color? Cause I kind of don't like the first step be like, oh, let me speak up for myself for my nails. The second step for me was like, okay, let me walk back inside and be as humble as possible, as sweet as possible, because I don't ever want it to give like anybody messed up. There's just a standard of how I wanted my coffee to taste. And I really want to make sure that I do the work to make sure Nichelle has the taste that she was looking for. Small, small steps, like little things that we trick ourselves out of not doing. You know what I mean? And people in life bank on that feeling to come up and for you to bow down or for you to back down. No, like put yourself out there. Even at the event that I went to, I was just like introducing myself and I was just like, what's your name? Like people are almost waiting for someone to speak to them. You know what I mean? And being open and being someone that puts in the small steps for themselves, it opens you up to inviting people in. I remember, and I call it like bubble girl or bubble boy. When you're in your bubble boy or you're in your bubble girl era, when you're like a wallflower or when you're like kind of in the room by yourself, like I used to hermit crab so much. It's like there comes a time when you like, okay, everybody's craving community. I'm definitely craving community, but somebody got to put themselves out there first. Why not me? Why not me? And then I was reflecting on O'Shells and I'm like, yo, your entire brand, Nichelle, like this whole time you're thinking, oh, I'm throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what stick. No, you are being you bigly and boldly and showcasing firsthand what that looks like. Like this is the whole point. Like what you preach, you're doing, and the infinity sign, the relationship of like creating O'Shells birthed Nichful Thinking. And now you're able to put language to your method. I talked a lot about also chaos theory, right? So chaos theory helps with the reinforcement of your reinvention. So reinventing yourself means being obedient to your intuitive hits, starting small, little things. Hey, actually, can we do a orange French instead of a white French? Thank you so much. Like, I just really want to make sure I walk out of here with exactly what I want. You know what I mean? It starts with that. Or hey, so I just left and I took a sip of my coffee. It tastes like there's like no flavor in it, and I would love it if we could have just maybe a pump or two extra. and shut up and just let people fill in the gaps and want to give to you. Like those things help with your reinvention, right? The reinforcement section of it is like letting it bake in. I talk about let your belly hang, like literally let your belly hang. Like take a deep breath. Don't talk too much about the things that you're doing, right? Let it bake in. Don't look for external validation when you're in that reinvention process, because you will then give other people's reactions the opportunity to taint what you're building up within yourself. As a mirror, as someone who, you know, showcases the truth to people often, naturally, I've gotten a lot of different reactions. Reinforcement has to start with you first before you allow anybody outside of you be an echo chamber. And that looks like journaling. That looks like the content I post. That looks like Nichful Thinking. Best believe every single piece of content that I put out there, I learn from myself. I've learned from it. It's a reminder that Nichelle 6 months from now is going to look at and be like, word, you're right, Nichelle. There's a relationship that's being built out loud, and that's the whole point of it. Like, Nichful Thinking, I switched up the bio a little bit on my Instagram where it now says like self-development, self-realization, self-love. Self-development is enhancing the you that you are already. How do I expand? How do I create more space for myself and for the people around me? Self-realization is the look back and the playing catch with yourself and seeing, okay, how do I Goldilocks this thing? Was that too much for you, Nichelle? Was that not enough? Because you have taken more on? Did you sell yourself short? Like really being honest about those things. And then the self-love part, that's a lot of acceptance and trust. Just straight up. I remember seeing a video and this woman was talking about how she has a friend that has mountain moving faith. And I've heard that term be used before, but for some reason it hit a little different. And it was the conviction behind her voice and the fact that she was talking about someone else, not herself. And I remember thinking to myself, like, do I have mountain moving faith? Like, do I have that, or is it still a mustard seed? Is my faith kind of like a watermelon? Like, how big is my faith for real? Let me put the reps in to big up my faith and taking leaps. You know what I mean? Taking intuitive leaps. Moving to Texas was definitely one of those things where I was like, I got all the ingredients. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Let's see where the chips fall. And I trust myself to be able to move through. And move through, man. I'm going to have to do another video on my move to Austin and my move to Dallas, because I have YouTube videos that I posted about it. But I think with the brain that I have now and the amount of expansion that I've done over these last 4 years, it definitely is something that is worth re-recording now with the reflection and like just the outlook on life that I have today. This is definitely for someone that knows that they have multiple layers to them. Like Shrek speaks to you, movies like Mulan, Hercules, like really speaks to you. You got something in you, but you kind of stuck with the how and the what and the when and all of that. You gotta be you so that you can reveal you and then accept that and truly love you. And then all of a sudden, speaking about me, myself, and I serve a God of suddenlies. And I truly feel like today is day zero. And you can always reinvent yourself. And for me, it's always intuitive. It's never something that's forced. I tried to do it the forced way already, and it didn't work out. It didn't feel right, and it wasn't sustainable. I have a post that I recorded, and it was like, sometimes you got to go into the slow lane in order to go fast. Sometimes you got to move over to the right to expedite. Okay? Everybody wants to go fast. Sometimes that left lane be getting jam packed, baby. But if you just try to go a little bit outside the box, or go left when you were supposed to go right. If you remember that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Eeny Meeny Miny Mo, there was a scene where the guy, when the husband is like, he learned how to bounce through all types of timelines and whatnot, right? And his wife is it's like in the office space or whatever, and like she getting in trouble and they coming after her, da da da. And he's like, put your left shoe on your right shoe, chew this gum, jump up and down, like do something different and like shake up the timeline. And like she like, what? And he did all this extra stuff and was like blue, like he literally channeled a whole new being to come forward. And a lot of that is something that this life is designed to make you forget. This life is designed to make you forget how powerful you are. Don't fall for the okey doke. The only consistent thing is change. And if you do not have movement, if you do not reinvent yourself by expanding, giving yourself more room, do something different. Get a hobby. Pick up yoga. You know what I mean? Start looking at different things on YouTube. Start watching different kind of shows. Start making some new dishes. It don't gotta be, you run through the mall butt naked, right? There's still rules and regulations, and you need to Goldilocks this thing. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't copycat, because then you gonna be real lost in the sauce. Stand on what you believe, stand on your values, but notice when you're at a day zero and embrace that. Mourn what you thought would always be, and really start embracing the unknown and the freshness and the newness of what that could look like. For me, I didn't have no choice. I remember I remember being in a space where it was like, I'm too chicken to take myself out of this world. I was even too wimpy to even off myself. And I don't even say wimpy. It was more so like, nah, I low key thought about it, but that don't feel realistic for me. And the only way was up. And the way to go up was in. And the way to go in was to get into solitude, was to start journaling, was to start looking for inspiration. That's the external world that we live in. It's like, what's bouncing out at me? What's glimmering at me? Whenever I feel, what gets my cells jumping? When you see that favorite cousin you love, and I said this before, or that favorite friend, or that favorite influencer, or that favorite, and they got your energy like, like, all right, my show is on. You need to find activity that keeps you grounded in your body, that gives you that energy. Okay. And you need to be your own coach and your own drill sergeant to make you do that thing. You have an hour. You have 30 minutes. You do. You do. Listen to this episode again and again and again and again. Let it play in the back so your subconscious can take it in. Whatever you need to do, you need to do it. God forbid, my worst fear was always being 81 looking back thinking, what if? Oh, hell no. Hell, we only got one of these. One of these. You better cringe somebody out today. Get cringier. Please hurt a feeling today. Remove off board something in somebody, a practice, a habit, an addiction today. Okay? Child, I'm not telling you what I think. I'm actually telling you what I know at this point. So yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. That's all I got for you. I hope this blesses somebody. I know it will. I prayed on it already, and I really, truly trust myself in a different kind of way. I want to thank the version of me that just took a leap of faith and threw the first episode out there, November 11th, 2024. Nichelle, thank you. And I thank even the more expanded version of me. Like I said, this is day zero of a whole new cycle. Like, just when you thought it couldn't get better, it's just more. It's just more and more and more and more. I want what God wants for me. And I also say this, and I want people to really start internalizing this. You don't want anything too early. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. And you want to be sure you have a North Star that is bigger than you. Because if you are the biggest thing in your life, if you are the biggest thing in your life, that is a dangerous place to be. The human body is not expansive enough for the spirit that God has put within you, that God moves through you. I remember, I'll leave off with this, I promise. I'm like, one more thing, like a pastor, like, all right, one more thing. We about to get out of here. We about to get out of here. But I remember seeing a video of Michael Jackson, and he was talking about how him as a vessel and the music that comes through him and him being obedient to just put it out there. Like, I think Beat It was an example. He was like, I don't know, like, I can't take credit for this. It's just, like it just comes down and I just put it out there. Like the way that he was even speaking is exactly what I'm talking about. Being patient enough to just let your belly hang and do what feels like nothing. Building up the stamina to allow yourself to be quote unquote bored again. Knowing that productivity comes in a whole lot of different flavors. Give yourself options, remain humble, and truly, truly pray. Okay? Okay. I love y'all. I mean it. Be great. All right. All right.